In this week's Genius recipe, I have a way to make buffalo sauce even better, and it's on something that you probably never thought to buffalo. Don't be mad, I think you're gonna like it. While traditional buffalo sauce is just 2 ingredients, Frank's RedHot hot sauce and melted butter, this one gets its genius from a whole lot of roasted garlic in it too, and there are 2 ways to go about getting it, the easy way and the harder way, and I will show you the harder way first. So this is the fancy way called garlic confitting, which basically is taking a bunch of garlic cloves and cooking them in a decent amount of olive oil until they're soft and golden and you can squish them up into a puree. And then you also get a lot of really delicious garlic oil out of it too. It's not exact amounts, just put all your garlic cloves in and pour in olive oil until they're covered and they float a little bit. This should just bubble along at a low boil. It should be about 185 degrees Fahrenheit if you have a thermometer, but as long as it's just kind of like bubbling along calmly, you're fine. So while we wait for that garlic to confit and do its thing, I'm gonna show you the easier way. You just slice off the top of the head of garlic, just enough so that you'll be able to squeeze the cloves out, and then drizzle a little olive oil over and bake it for maybe about an hour at 350, and basically until it's golden and soft. And then, this is the cool part, it peels itself for you. Kinda gross looking, very satisfying, and quite a bit faster than peeling that whole head of garlic. So this garlic is soft and golden and very squishable. I'd also like to note that it smells really good in here right now. So those are the ones that were confited in the pot with the oil. Those are the ones that came from the head that was roasted. Both basically get you the same very good result. This recipe comes from Parm restaurants in New York City and Peter Meehan from his days at Lucky Peach magazine. When Lucky Peach's offices were near Parm, Peter Meehan would go and have this for lunch all the time, so he went and had the chefs there show him how it's made. And then he brought the recipe to us. And then it was also published in their book, Power Vegetables. So now it's time to make the Frank's RedHot vinaigrette, and you might notice that there's no vinegar in the ingredients list, but that's because hot sauce is basically just vinegar that's been steeped with cayenne peppers, garlic, other seasonings. It brings its own vinegar to the vinaigrette. Frank's RedHot hot sauce was invented in 1920 in Louisiana, but when buffalo wings were invented in Buffalo, New York in the 1960s, that was the secret ingredient that made them taste like buffalo wings. Normally, buffalo sauce is just this and melted butter, but if you were to put melted butter on a cool or room temp salad, the butter would turn hard. So instead we use garlic oil from that confitting garlic, or if you roast it in the oven, just use regular olive oil, it's fine. And then it's amped up with some shallots and all that roasted garlic. Okay, dressing's made. Now time to deal with the cucumbers. So technically you could buffalo anything, and I think that people have tried, but I think that the cucumbers here are really nice because they're cold and crisp and like a little bit sour, very fresh tasting, to contrast with this very fiery, intense dressing. It cools it down, lets you keep eating more hot sauce. This peeling part is completely optional, but as Peter Meehan writes, he likes to peel them like this because it reminds him of the 80s and feeling fancy. And you get these cool zebra stripes, but you don't have to do that. But this part you do have to do. Just nick off the ends, cut it in half, and then taking these seeds out is helpful because there's a lot of water in them, so if you leave them in, your salad's gonna get watery a little faster. So it's just a matter of taking your spoon and scraping out the seeds, which you can then eat or put in a smoothie or do whatever you want with. Okay, mine is not really looking like a fancy 80s cocktail party. It's kind of looking like someone blindfolded driving down a course. That's okay, it's still gonna look really cool because you're going to slice them on the bias, which just means slicing them diagonally, which makes them look so much fancier. Okay, so now we have all the stuff we need. Our cucumbers, our Frank's RedHot vinaigrette, some blue cheese, because blue cheese goes really well with buffalo, and some chopped peanuts because why not? You're not gonna use all of this dressing, you can save it for other stuff. Peter Meehan says they should be loosely, casually dressed. Okay, that looks pretty casual. Half the blue cheese and the peanuts go in now, and the other half is on top for garnish. Peter says to use a blue cheese that's not too fancy. Clearly we ignored him because this is some very nice looking blue cheese. Okay, that is excellent. It's very fiery on first bite, but you break through to this really cool, refreshing cucumber. And then the like kind of funky, cooling blue cheese bites, the crunchy, salty peanuts. I have to admit, the first time I made this, my first bite, I was like, whoa, I don't know about that. I don't think I like it. And then the more I ate it, the more kind of addictive it felt. But this time, it tastes good right off the bat. It might be an acquired taste, but it's very quickly acquired. For more genius recipes like this every week, maybe more things you can buffalo, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel and check back next week.